What's up, it's you, Vite's video, we're in full Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Pokemon team. This one is for Patreon. If you want your theme team done, you can check it out in the description of the video under the Patreon link. Animalia, this one is for you. So I've personally never watched this show before. I've just been briefed on some of the details about it. And today's question is, what is your favorite anime? Leave below in the comments section. And is Jojo's Bizarre Adventure worth watching? Alright, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell and selected all notifications, because you missed us all. It's not my fault. Now, I do all my Twitch streams on Twitch, people. Link is in the description of the video. Come and check that out. Now, today we've got a triple battle special. Had some really good battles, and I thought I'd showcase all of them. So the first battle is on my Discord. This one against Honza, and we got a big bad Shuckle lead. Now, what I'm going to do throughout this video is explain why we pick these Pokemon and call them names and stuff like that when I get a chance. Alright, so we're going to be leading things off with the Ferrothorn. Now, this was a very offensive Ferrothorn, and obviously this one, we had this one as Joseph. Now, why we had it Joseph is, Joseph has a stand ability, which lets him produce like thorny vines, you know, very much alike to Power Whip, and it also gave it gravity since it's a psychic move to depict his divination. So that was a very offensive set, and we got like a Ferrothorn versus Ferrothorn here. Unfortunately, I don't really have much to hit against the opposing Ferrothorn. Now, the other moves I gave my Ferrothorn were, other than Gravity and Power Whip, were Giga Impact and Rollout. I had the Max Attack and Max Health as the EVs. Now, I had the item as Quick Law too. Now, I couldn't do anything to the opposing Ferrothorn, so I had to go into my Pangoro. Now, we got a special Pangoro here, which, you know, actually worked out fairly well. So, for Pangoro, basically with the character Jotaro, he had a bit of a temper and makes friends and becomes protective of them, like when Pancham evolves into Pangoro by looking after other Pokemon. So, that's sort of why we put it as the Pancham. Alright, so we got the Shuckle coming back in. Now, I went for the Focus Mist. This is actually a Choice Spec set. We got Dank Pulse, Focus Mist, Grass Knot, and Parting Shot, Max Health, and Max Special Attack. This actually did a lot of damage. So Shuckle's actually going to outspeed me and knock off my Choice Specs, and I'm going to go for the Focus Mist, and it lands again, and Shuckle is down. Always good getting rid of Shuckle. Who knows if they'd like rest or something like that. What's the name? Swifty or something like that? Oh, because I get it, because it's a speedy Shuckle under the... I get it, because it's speedy Shuckle under the Sticky Web. Alright, next Pokemon we got is the Mudsail. Now, I had a lot of problems with this Pokemon. It caused me a lot of pain. Alright, so it's going to go for the close combat. They're outspeeding me, and Pangoro is going to go down. Man, I didn't have much to swap into that. Like, when I'm looking at the rest of my team, like, nah, nothing would have really liked swapping into the Mudsail. Okay, so I can either bring in Ferrothorn, or I can go into another Pokemon. We're going to be going to Jonathan. So, we had the Hitmonchan as Jonathan, or depicting Jonathan. So, obviously, it resembled its blue gloves and its outfit. Also, it had some, you had some fist moves, like punching moves, and it had a history of boxing, too, with the character. So, that's why we ended up choosing Jonathan. Alright, so we got the Mudsail swapping out there, probably predicting like a fighting type move. And we got the Spiritomb coming in. Ice Punch does pretty impressive damage. It's going to be a clear 3-hit KO. And now I'm going to outspeed by the Ferrothorn. Man, the Sticky Web, all these slow Pokemon are outspeeding me. And we're going to go for another Ice Punch here. Now, it's actually in range for me to go for the Bullet Punch to take it out. However, we got a Withdraw on the Spiritomb, and we got the Mudsail coming back in to get a free stamina. Now, the other moves I had in this were Bullet Punch, Mach Punch, Ice Punch, and Thunder Punch. Basically, I just loaded it all with punching moves to suit the character. Okay, sorry, not the Mudsail, the Ferrothorn. So here we got the Ferrothorn doing a little bit of damage with the Iron Barbs. I don't know if they predicted like another Ice Punch, or they thought it may go for a Bullet Punch afterwards. But now we're going to swap back into Mudsail, so Mudsail's going to be able to take that one really easily and get a, you know, a stamina boost up. Now, I could try and break through this with the Hitmonchan and get like one probably like fairly powerful Ice Punch up. But the problem is I'm going to get outsped, like, because of this Sticky Web. So I'm going to get kicked in the face, and Jonathan is going to go down, man. That was a knockout kick there instead of a knockout punch. All right, we got 3 other unreal Pokemon at the moment. So we're going to bring in Joylene. So what we had for Butterfree and Joylene, obviously she's very shy and also has a butterfly tattoo. And what we thought was to... since Butterfree, or the character Butterfree, is depicting Joylene, actually comes back from life after dying, and actually represents a rebirth in Japan. So that's why we chose Butterfree for Joy. Okay, so on this set, we got a special one. We got String Shot, because it actually does a string move. And we've got Signal Beam, actually, with Bug-Inium Z, actually makes it look like a big string move. So I thought that'd be really cool for the Z move there. And that does some pretty solid damage to the incoming Aggron, even though it's not very effective. Now, the other moves I gave was Stun Spore and Air Slash, max special attack and max speed. We got the abilities Compound Eyes, and the item is Bug-Inium Z. So firstly, we're going to go for a Stun Spore. We're going to paralyze that opposing Aggron and see if we can get some Air Slash flinches going on this thing. So we're going to go for Air Slash this time, hoping we can get like a paralyzed or a flinch on the Aggron. Not that it does a lot of damage, but we mainly go for status here. And it's going to bust through with the Head Smash. Man, this could probably take out like 6 Butterfrees. So down goes the Butterfree. There's nothing I could have done there. Like, it's not an easy move to swap into a Head Smash. And no recoil either, which is kind of bad. So now I can go back into a Joseph. I can go for a Power Whip here. Or I'm thinking, like, what should I do? Is the opposing Ferrothorn going to come back in? This could be really bad. And now the Aggron's going to go for a Head Smash. I guess they're already paralyzed and not very fast anymore, so I thought might as well get as much damage off as possible. And I'm going to get a little bit of Iron Barbs damage there, which is nice. And I just went for Power Whip. Power Whip is going to connect, and Aggron is going to go down, which is good. That thing is very, very scary with Head Smash. So Head Smash is such a scary move, especially when it lands like all the time. And when you got like Rock Head, then you don't like take any recoil. It's even scarier. Okay, so now we got the Spiritomb coming back in. I can go for a Power Whip again. We got a Destiny Bond, so damn it. Spiritomb is going to take me down with him. Actually, low-key. I was actually low-key hoping the Power Whip would miss here. And of course, guys, it didn't miss. Like that one time you want Power Whip to miss and it lands. Look at those big vines. Okay, so Spiritomb is going to go down. And we got the Ferrothorn left and one other Pokemon. And I've actually still got a couple of Pokemon left too. I've got 2 left. It's 2 all at the moment. So I'm going to go down to the Destiny Bond. And of course, this Mudsdale is going to come out. This Mudsdale has been like the hardest Pokemon on their team to get around. So now we got Alakazam. So we had him for... I hope I say this name right. Giona? Is that how you say it? I'm not sure. I'm not the greatest pronunciation of names. Just names in general. So for that, we had, based off his stance, it's Solid Gold. Also, the Mega Evolution depict his huge power boost during the very end of Part 5. So that's why we did Mega Alakazam. We also think of doing Mega Alakazam, Ampharos too. They both start with A, people. Alright, so on this set, I've got a Future Sight set, which actually was fairly powerful. But it was a bit of a meme too. And we're going to trace the stamina off the Mudsdale. So I thought I could, like, maybe I could live the next attack since I got a stamina boost. And then I could go for Recover, right? My full set was Future Sight, Protect, Substitute, and Recover. And we had the Alakazam as the item. Unfortunately, I think that just did a little bit too much damage. And down goes Mega Alakazam. It would have been very, very close. So if I lived that, then I could have protected. And then my move could hit it. Okay, so the last Pokemon is Genesect. Now, I couldn't actually do the Genesect's name on here for Jasuke. But basically, it's all purple, and it's like his, hairstyle, or the part on his cannon on his head actually represents the pompadour, like the hairstyle. I thought that was actually one that I made up. Anyway, so we got a Fury Cutter set here, and it's going to be a stamina boosting Mudsdale. Let's go over what the Genesect set actually was. So we got Recycle for his, and we got a Leechy Berry, so I was going to like try to depict his healing, and we had Fury Cutter, Hone Claws, and Toxic. So now we got the Mudsdale, which is going to go down, and now we got the Parasect coming out. So we got a Ferrothorn left and a Parasect. So it's like, okay, this is really good. Now, it's going to go for Fury Cutter, so it clearly didn't have anything to hit me at all. I've got Fury Cutter. Guys, Fury Cutter. Best move in the game, boys and girls. And Parasect is going to get turned back into a mushroom in the ground. So we got one more Pokemon. It's the Ferrothorn we had earlier at the start. I can't really do too much this. However, I do have a lot of Fury Cutter boosts up. So this should do some okay damage, I guess. And now the Ferrothorn clearly doesn't have anything to like hit me against or anything like that. So it's going to be going for an Explosion. And Explosion actually lives. I live on 2 health from the Explosion, and that is a game. Woo, that was really, really close there. Hope you guys enjoyed this first battle. I was very, very lucky to live that one. All right, the next battle we have was against Ethereon, and I'm using the same team since we're doing the same theme team, people. And man, that was such a close battle. I had a lot of close battles today. Then again, I had some absolute landslides too. So, like, coming my way, like I was getting wrecked. Anyway, so we got a Psychic type Silvally first, and my Quick Claw actually activates first turn. So firstly, we're going to set that Gravity up. Now, the whole good thing about Gravity, right, that's going to land like moves like Power Whip. They're always going to land. Like, Rollout's always going to land, right? All right, so we got a U-turn coming from the Silvally. It's not really going to do a lot of damage, and I get a little bit of Iron Barbs too. So, you know, it's a fairly decent trade-off there. I got the Gravity up, and I took a little bit of damage. And the Silvally took a little bit of damage too. Okay, so now we got the Ampharos coming in. So it's like, okay, I get another Quick Claw activation, like 2 in a row. Like, damn, son, we're on fire at the moment. So I'm going to go for the big Power Whip on the Ampharos. And this is a max attack Ferrothorn. It does a lot. Like, look at that damage, man. And now we got the Ampharos going for a Thunder Wave. So like, okay, what sort of scummy strategy is this going to be? So since I'm paralyzed, I got to, basically, I've got to get another Quick Claw, which I do. I get 3 Quick Claws in a row. And unfortunately, I get paralyzed in this time. I was like, oh no. I could have gone for another Power Whip and landed and ended that Ampharos's career. So Ampharos is going to go for a Thunder Wave, then a Signal Beam. So they're trying to go for a Power Fusion set with the Signal Beam, having a 30% chance of confusing me. And it's actually a pretty mean set, but I get around to the Powerless and obviously the chance of getting confused, and Ampharos is going to go down. Man, that was a scary Ampharos set. I could have easily like got confused and like done nothing for like the next couple of turns. So Ferrothorn is like actually going like crazy right now. And now we got the Mesprit coming in. It's going to go for a Shadow Ball. Ferrothorn actually has very, very good defenses, and it's very, very bulky, so it's actually able to live that one. And it's going to fire off another Power Whip. I'm making use of that Gravity like so much at the moment. So the Gravity finally turns to normal, and we got a Shadow Ball coming from the Mesprit. That's one is going to take me out. There probably isn't much Mesprit could do to a Ferrothorn unless like for hidden power, you know, fire or something like that. So I was quite confident I could probably, you know, barely live the next attack. Okay, so now we're going to bring in the Pangoro. So on this set, I've already explained what the set is. I can go for a Dark Pulse. I was actually thinking maybe going for a Parting Shot, so I thought they may swap into another Pokemon, you know, that's not weak to a Dark type move. But we got the Psychic Silvally coming. It's like, okay, that was very lucky. Maybe they thought I'd go for a different kind of move than the Dark move, and Silvally is going to go down. So it's good to get rid of that Pokemon. Now, this thing had okay special attack. I ran it as Modest Nature, so I really need that Choice Specs to actually do some damage. All right, so now we got the Mesprit coming in. I'm definitely thinking it's Choice, guys, and it's going to go for a Dazzling Gleam. There is no way I'm going to live that one. That's 4 times super effective. Pangoro is definitely going to go down to that. All right, so we've got 4 other Pokemon left, and we've taken 2 out, so it's a fairly even battle. Now we're going to bring in Jolink, because I can go for a Signal Beam here myself. It's not often you get to see both players use the move Signal Beam. It's a very, I mean, it's outclassed, right? It's not a move you see very often. I guess the only thing it's got going for it is as that confusion chance, right? All right, so now we got Notefish coming in, and this is Wishy-Washy. I really love seeing Wishy-Washy being used. It's definitely up there with some of my Gen 7 favorite Pokemon. It's such a big boy. Okay, I can either go for my Z move here or just go for Stun Spore and go for the Air Slash Scummy combination. So getting that Stun Spore off against the Wishy-Washy is my first sort of act there, and it's going to go for an Ice Beam. So it's like, oh, coming from this thing, this big boy has a lot of special attack, and my Butterfree ain't going to be able to withstand that one. So Butterfree goes down. I guess the only good thing about that, I paralyze it. Not that it's very fast Pokemon, but I might be able to get a free turn here and there with the paralysis. Okay, so I can go for a Thunder Punch against this thing. We got Iron Fist in this thing. I had to run all punching moves. Normally I'd run like a special set, but did some pretty good damage. And I mean, Butterfree came in handy there. The paralysis come in there, and I was able to actually take it out with a second Thunder Punch. So Butterfree wasn't completely useless. I could have gone for my Z move there, but I feel it wouldn't have taken out anyway. Wishy-Washy is actually a fairly bulky Pokemon. Okay, so we got that one down. Now, the next Pokemon we got is the Minior, Green Minior. I really like the Minior forms. When the, actually, I better not say that. So that's a Gen 8 spoiler. Well, it's already been revealed. So I'm going to say a spoiler just for like 5 seconds. So there's a new Pokemon, right? It's called, that creamy Pokemon. I'm going to do like a team with them. Okay, spoiler ended. All right, so now we got a double team here. So I was actually kind of worried because Hitmonchan is actually, it's quite important to taking out the last couple of Pokemon. So I was thinking, okay, I'm going to swap here, and I'm going to go into Alakazam and see what moves this thing actually has. Then if I need to, I can bring in the Hitmonchan a little bit later up. So we got Earthquake against Alakazam. Maybe they predicted a swap, I'm not sure. But Alakazam doesn't take that very good at all. Its defenses aren't the greatest in the world. I was kind of happy to sacrifice Alakazam right here because the last Pokemon could really, wreck me with, its priority move that I was quite sure that it would have. So going into Mega Alakazam, I thought I could go for the future sight here, and that'll eventually hit it, eventually, as it always does, and I can maybe go for like a recover after that. I was thinking maybe it's going to go for Shell Smash, I'm not sure, but it's just going to go for another Earthquake and take out my Mega Alakazam. I always get that name mixed up. So we got 2 more Pokemon left. I could bring in my Hitmonchan and just go for a Bullet Punch, or I could bring in like another one of my Pokemon. And we're going to bring in the Genesect. I thought I might be able to get Genesect up with a Fury Cutters and get this thing going right. Or I could go for a couple of Hone Claws here, get those Hone Claws up, then finish this off with like a Fury Cutter. Or the future type was going to finish it off anyway. So go for some free Hone Claws here. I was quite confident I could leave anything this thing throw at me. Genesect's defense is actually pretty good. And that's going to go for a Rock Tomb. Now the only annoying thing about Rock Tomb, right, it didn't do a lot of damage, but it actually did drop my speed. So any other Pokemon coming in after this, there was a very good chance they were going to be able to, drop me easily in the speed category at least. So I'm going to hit by 2 Rock Tombs there, and I'm going to go for a second Hone Claws. So I've got Hone Claws up. The good thing about Hone Claws, that's going to make Fury Cutter like never miss, which is really nice too. And it's going to bolster my attack at the same time. So Future Sight is going to land, and Minior is going to go down. Definitely to that one. That's a very powerful attack coming from Mega Alakazam. So the last Pokemon is Robin, which is the Decidueye. So you guys know that Decidueye obviously often carries like Sucker Punch. So I was like, I can't do anything with Mega Alakazam. That is why I brought it in earlier on. So we got a Spirit Shackle. I was quite confident I could barely lift this one. Go for the Fury Cutter. And it takes me out with the crit. Oh, are you serious? So down goes Genesect, man, and a Salty Rage. All I've got left is my Hitmonchan. I can go for an Ice Punch here. That's pretty much it. If they go for a Brave Bird, I'm quite confident it'll be a draw because of the recoil damage. So I'm going to outspeed that. Go for that Ice Punch on this Decidueye. Does some solid damage there. This Decidueye is going to go for a Leaf Blade, going for that win. And Leaf Blade does a lot of damage. And I lift on 5 health. I was like, it's like the first battle, people. I lift on 3 health and then 5 health. I'm going to finish off with a Bullet Punch, and that is a GG. Thank you for the game, and 2 really good battles there. Let's get on to the third and final battle. I need a drink, people. Nothing like a good drink. Alright, so we got a battle. This one on my Discord against a Mossy Dog, and we got a Delibird lead. This Delibird caused me all kinds of problems. So usually a lot of time in my battles with this team, I let off with a Ferrothorn, and now we got the Delibird going for Protect there. I need Feint right now, people. I need that Feint. I've got to bust through that Protect. So I'm going to go for Gravity. It didn't really matter that the Delibird actually went for that, because it's actually able to me to get that off, which is really nice. So Delibird can't stay afloat either. It's a flying type. I'm going to get the Quick Claw activation, which is absolutely beautiful here. And I'm actually going to have a swap, which is really, really unfortunate. And Simipour is going to come in. It's like, okay, what is Simipour going to do to me? I went for the rollout. I was trying to get that rollout sweep, that Ferrothorn rollout sweep going. And it does okay damage because I get a critical hit right, which is nice. Now, Simipour is going to go for a Focus Miss. Focus Miss lands because they took advantage of gravity too. And man, that thing absolutely spanked me. I lived on 3 health and got a special defense drop. This thing is like loaded, man. I reckon it's Choice Specs as well. I'm definitely thinking it's Choice Specs. So I went for another rollout, right? I was quite happy with that. Because it's like, they're going to have to stay in here or swap. So they decided to stay in and go for another Focus Miss. They would have gone for any other move than Focus Miss if it wasn't Choice. And that is my Ferrothorn down. Unfortunate. It was very unfortunate. I mean, if they did swap, they could be in trouble with like the next Pokemon going down to Rollout or Quick Claw activating when it came back in. So now I've got my Hitmonchan out. I can go for a Mach Punch or a Thunder Punch. I decided to not go for that. I thought they may actually swap. And we got another Focus Miss here. That did a lot of damage to me. Definitely Choice Specs because I was running Assault Vest on this set, which is a very nice item on Hitmonchan. Normally, probably if I was playing a little like higher tiers, I could run like a power-up punch, drain punch set. That's very, very good. But I decided to just go for all like the punching moves instead of having Mach Punch as priority, right? Hitmonchan is the fastest Pokemon in the world too. It does rely on its priority moves. Okay, so Delibird's going to come in. I'm going to go for that Bullet Punch. It does a lot of damage. Delibird's actually going to be able to live that one. And it's going to have counter. So that's my Hitmonchan down. I think a nice Air Waste to the face would have taken me out anyway. But nice touch there with counter. So now we're going to bring in Jotaro. So this was my Pangoro. So it's like, okay, any move's going to take this out. We got the Mold Breaker, not that really matters. So I could go for a Dank Pulse and take this out. And Delibird is going to have freaking Decibel. I was like, okay, I thought it might have, like after I saw counter, I was like, okay, it probably has something like Focus Sash, counter, and a couple of coverage moves. But Decibel is a good move to run on Delibird. I've done so many times myself. So Delibird's going to take my Big Panda out, and I've lost like 3 of my team already. So that Delibird did a lot of damage if you think about it. Like it took out my Hitmonchan and my Pangoro. Alright, so now we've got the Big Bad Moon coming out, and I'm going to go into my Mega Alakazam. So probably not the greatest matchup. All I can do is go for the future side here. So I decided to bugger it. Let's go. I want to try something. It'll be so funny if this goes for a ground type move and I trace the Levitate. I might be able to get like a funny little swap in it and go for a future type. So I went for the Mega Right. I've traced the Levitate from the Lunatone. And I was thinking, okay, it'd be super funny if it actually went for an Earth Power or something like that. It's not commonly it goes for like a special set, right? So I go for the future shot and it uses Earth Power, so I got a nice free swap in. That was hilarious. That was absolutely hilarious. So I was looking at my other Pokemon, like what else could have really swapped into that, and it could have maybe my Genesect or my Butterfree would have been a good swap here too. Anyway, so we've got the big bad yellow Wi-Fi signal coming here. I can go for that's a Protect here. I can go for a Sub. I can go for a Recover, and hopefully that'll do some really good damage against Licky Licky. Licky Licky is a very, very bulky Pokemon, so it's going to use Rapid against me. As soon as I seen Rapid, I thought, okay, it's definitely going to have something like Toxic, right? So Future Sight hits really, really hard there. I get a nice critical hit against the Licky Licky, and the Leftovers Recovery is probably going to heal up almost enough to probably withstand the next Future Sight. So I thought, instead of going for a Substitute, I've got to get Future Sight off right now, because I think it's going to be able to live it if I take way too long, because judging on that critical hit damage, right? So I knew that Licky Licky would go for the Toxic against me. Now, the thing about this is I can actually swap if they go for a Wrap, so I'm not like entirely trapped in here, like completely useless. I could also go for a Recover myself too, but unfortunately I can't do much about the poison. If I didn't Mega Evolve, it would have been alright, but that's how it is. Now, the thing about Future Sight too, when the move hits, it actually is judged on when what your Pokemon stats are at that point too. So now, instead of going for a Wrap, it's going to go for a Supersonic. Man, did you see those Wi-Fi signals coming out? Anyway, so my Butterfree is going to get confused by that. Now, on my Butterfree, you guys know I've got a Z Signal Beam, or Buggy and Z Signal Beam, and that's what we'll be going for here. Pretty much, it sort of looks like String Shot as well, but it does some damage, like all the those string shot things coming out when it uses its move. Okay, one time I was doing a battle, right, guys? I think it was on a stream. I used Buggy and Z. I can't remember what it was. It was some sort of move. And I did the Z move right, and I wrapped the opponent in the little cocoon, right? And then they were stuck in there. Like, the game actually froze. Like, it froze, and they were, like, stuck inside there. It was, like, super funny. Was anyone at that stream? It was, like, it was hilarious. Anyway, so we're going to go into the Genesect. We're going to body that with the Psychic move that I forgot the name of, Future Sight, and my future's not looking too bright. And now we're going to get the ball rolling with this Fury Cutter and Genesect. So I realized a lot of their Pokemon are actually, like, kind of weak to it, so I'm going to go for that. And we're going to Earth Power come from Lunatone. Lunatone really can't do too much damage to me. It really needs, like, a Fire type move. The only thing about Genesect, like, if you notice, my Genesect and my Ferrothorn were both 4 times weak to Fire, so I did have a problem against Fire type moves too if I wasn't able to get rid of them. Of course, my Butterfree too, so I was very weak to that. Okay, so that one's down, which is good. We got 2 other Pokemon. So we got Rusty Rock coming here, which is the Regirock. Now, Regirock has superior defenses, guys, though, very, very high. So even though I've got a lot of Fury Cutter boost and a max attack there, it still doesn't do, like, a heck of a lot of damage. And now we got the Regirock going for the Drain Punch. Unfortunately for Regirock, I've actually got pretty good defense, and since that isn't Stab, it's not going to do enough damage to actually take me out. And now I can just keep going for Fury Cutter, boosting the power, and just rolling through this Regirock. It needs rollout, guys. It pretty much needs to land like a Stone Edge against me. Maybe it didn't have anything like that. Like Drain Punch could have been its best bet there, judging on what the set was. All right, so they're going to go for a final Drain Punch. It fails to take out my Genesect, and I can go for another Fury Cutter and take out the Rusted Rock. The only hope that they've got is me missing. Now, the item I had on this was Leechy Red, which is actually going to further boost my attack, which is not good for the Regirock. I actually don't mind Shiny Regirock. What do you guys think of Shiny Regirock? Excuse me. I have a little bit of a frog in my throat at the moment. I hope I'm not coming down with a cold. Have you guys got a cold at the moment? It's like cold season. Alright, so Regirock is down. I've got 1 more Pokemon left to beat, which is the Swords Bite. Now, if I miss the Fury Cutter, I can go after the Butterfree and go for a Air Slash. That could definitely take it out. However, I'm not going to miss, and Swords Bite is going to go down into its wintry coat. Hope you guys enjoyed all 3 battles. I've got a meme after this. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.